Hey there, I'm Heather Clontmaker with At Home Realty, and I'm so excited to welcome you back to another episode of West Michigan Wednesdays. Our goal with West Michigan Wednesdays is to highlight a different local business or community organization each week so that you can learn more about them and this great place we call home. Today we are standing inside of the Tulip Time office, and I can't wait to share more about this amazing festival that we have right here in Holland. That just opened in March. They just moved over here, and I'm with Darlene Kuipers. She's the Director of Business Development for Tulip Time, and I'm so excited to catch up with her because Darlene, and you probably get this a lot, but there's a lot of things I think most people don't know about Tulip Time.
Yeah, I think one of the biggest questions we get asked is that a full-time job year-round? And it is. We have a full-time staff of 7, and we go up to a seasonal staff of 15, and then 30 plus and 1,000 volunteers during the week of. So it takes a whole army to pull off Tulip Time.
Yeah. And one of the things that you and I were just talking about that I think, again, people probably have no idea, is that not only do we have this big festival that week, but it has a huge impact on our economy.
Yeah, absolutely. In 2015, we did a study, and we're doing a benchmark study again in 2018, but we found that Tulip Time has a $12.9 million economic impact on the city of Holland in just the week of the festival.
In 1 week.
It's
crazy.
Huge. So that's over 500,000 people coming here, spending money in our city, and we love to be a facilitator for that kind of economic impact.
Yep, and the last I checked, we have a population of around 30,000, and all the articles I've read historically have been that we have about 500,000 people visit Tulip Time each year.
Yes, we do. It is
crazy.
Huge. Yeah. Traffic and parking are definitely a huge issue that we try to stay on top of.
Yeah.
We've got lots of ways that we get around that, like Max Transit creates the Downtown Holland Park and Ride, which
trolleys.
is an easy way to get around. Our Tulip City Tours is another way you can see all of the attractions and get historical information on our city. So it's a lot of fun for everybody.
Well, and I think when you think of a town our size going from 30,000 to 500,000, I actually think it functions really well. I usually don't have any problems getting from here to there, and it's awesome.
It is impressive what our public safety team can help us pull off with our operations. So.
Definitely. And another thing that we were talking about, which I just think is really cool, is that we're world renowned for this festival, right?
Yeah, we definitely are on an international stage. So Tulip Time is a part of the World Tulip Summit, an organization of over 20 countries that have a tulip festival in their communities. This past year, we were awarded the 2017-2018 Tulip Festival of the Year, and that's worldwide.
Wow.
And so there are places like Istanbul that are looking at Holland saying, wow, what you do and pull off is impressive for a city your size.
Yeah, and a lot of that is due in part to the fact that you guys have this year-round team working, but you also have a lot of partners, right, within the community.
We do. So Tulip Time is a nonprofit. We are separate from the CVB, separate from the city and the Chamber of Commerce. So we operate independently with our team, and we are funded about 40% by our community partners, which are over 175 organizations in our community that support us. So that goes to things like our free events, which are fireworks, parades, Dutch dance, all the tulips. I mean, we couldn't do it without our community partners. They're a huge piece of our puzzle.
Yeah, and I love how the city and just, people throughout the community come together on it. I know the city of Holland had a funny video last week where they were using blow dryers because we had an ice storm last week, and here we are, the tulips are blooming, and looks like we're on track for a good tulip time.
And we found that whether or not the tulips are blooming, people are still here. We've got sold out shows that people are coming to, like the Beach Boys this year. So there's plenty to enjoy, whether there's tulips or not. I think it's actually going to be one of the best years for tulips. It looks like they should be peaking at the end of the week. In the past few years, it's been at the beginning of the week. So the color will just intensify as the festival keeps happening.
That's amazing. And I don't think we'd be remiss if we didn't talk about this beautiful artwork behind us. Can you tell us a little bit about this year's
This is by local artist Cindy Owry, and she created this piece called Together. And it really just gives a symbol of what Tulip Time is. It's a community coming together to celebrate something. And that's really what Tulip Time exists to do, is to celebrate our community through Dutch culture, tulips, and other community events. So we're so excited to feature this. It has a really different look than all of our other posters, and it really fits in our new space nicely, which was not planned planned,
Yeah.
but it's been a really hot seller.
Yeah, I think it has a really modern edge to it. So this is the kind of artwork from Tulip Time that people want. They're going to want to hang on their walls because it's just so beautifully done. And I love that that it's capturing that idea of the togetherness and community. Because when you're in a small town like ours, there is a lot of community togetherness. That's one of the things that sets us apart, maybe from some other areas.
Yeah, it's definitely something that's unique to Holland, and it's something that when people come to Tulip Time, they always ask, how do you pull this off with everyone coming together? It's it's truly unique to the DNA of our community in the Holland Zealand area.
Yeah, that's awesome. And the final question I'm just going to ask you is, what is the most popular event at Tulip Time? We have so many cool things that happen, but what's kind of, if you were to look at the top of
that? Yeah, the number one event that people come to see is Dutch Dance. And we have over 55 performances and 700 Dutch dancers.
Which is amazing.
Who volunteer their time, their talent, and their treasure to practice, to make costumes. I mean, all those costumes are inspected. And there's lots of buttons and hooks and eyes on all of them. So we're truly thankful for what they do to contribute to the festival, too.
Well, I love it. I can't wait for Tulip Time next week. We are just over a week out. Next week, when this video is going to air next week, it'll be right before Tulip Time starts. So if you guys are thinking of something to do for the weekend or through the next week, definitely head to Tulip Time. These guys have been working hard. It's going to be an awesome event this year, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So much for joining me for this week's episode of West Michigan Wednesdays, where we were at the Tulip Time office. This festival is amazing that we have right here in Holland. Many of you attend every year, and I'm just so excited that you were able to learn more about the organization behind that great event. My family has a special connection. Many of you may not know this, but clockmaker actually means wooden shoemaker, and my father-in-law is a wooden shoe carving demonstrator at Tulip Time. So I'm so glad that we were able to talk about it this week, and hopefully I'll see you there. We will see you next week for another episode of West Michigan Wednesdays.